Hello yogis, welcome to class today. So today's class we are going to focus on quite literally the inner heart. It's a heart centering class. So let's begin with a meditation. If you are using an oil or some incense, feel free to place some in your hands, to bless yourself, to bless your space, your yoga mat, your bubble. And we'll begin in a moment. So just finding comfortable seats. Just gently closing your eyes and allow your attention to settle on your body. Just begin to ride your breath for a few cycles to help bring you into the present. So we are going to focus on the spiritual heart. But let's start by getting acquainted in the physical heart. So just taking your awareness down into your chest, feeling into your rib cage, the bony structure that protects the heart and the lungs. And then ribs 1 to 7 of the true ribs extend from the vertebra in the back all the way around the sternum. And ribs 8 to 12 are a lot more malleable. They are also called the false ribs. I'm just feeling into the lungs, the wings of the heart. And then just slightly off to the left, this miracle of an organ, the heart, that sets the rhythm of our life. And just getting a sense of that pulse and that pump. Every pump which is pumping oxygen-rich blood throughout the body, and every pump returning oxygen blood back to the lungs. So the center of your physical heart is the Anahata chakra, the heart chakra. And right in the center of the heart chakra, I want you to explore the notion of a bindu, a point. A bindu is a point, it's a dot. And it's often referred to as a seed, the smallest place from which the biggest arises. So this point is not at the front of the body, the back, or the side. It's right in the very center. So you can imagine it like a flickering candle. It is this place that contains all things. So we're going to do some strong single-pointed focus training in today's class, just trying to keep an inner gaze on this point, the seed. So please join me as we open up with a chant of Om. Om is the basic sound of the universe. Everything in the universe is pulsating, vibrating. Nothing is really standing still. So by chanting it, we are symbolically and physically tuning into that sound and acknowledging our connection to all other living beings, nature, and the universe. So please bring your hands together in front of your heart. And let's take a nice deep inhale to begin. Releasing your hands down to your knees. Keeping your eyes closed. We're going to start to explore this upper chamber of the heart with some shoulder circles. So place your palms down on your knees. And we're just going to loosen up the upper body. So just starting by drawing the shoulders up towards your ears, rolling them back and bringing them down. Forward, up, back, and down. So just a few rounds. Just feeling into it. And let's change direction. So moving in the opposite direction. So if you think about it, the upper body is quite bony and dense. So these movements supply this area with more blood, just allowing a lot more access. Looping the shoulders up to the ears, shoulder blades draw down. Good, one more. Nice, all right, so open your eyes. Welcome to your practice. I want you to take your fingertips behind you, just behind your hips. And we're going to start to reach up tall through the spine. Roll those shoulders back, lifting your heart up towards the ceiling. Really lifting through the ribs, through the side body, center of the chest draws up. And if it's comfortable, maybe allow your head to drop back. See how that feels. If it is too intense of the neck, just gently draw it in. But squeeze the shoulder blades together. Take one more breath here. Good. And release. Nice. All right, so we're going to roll over our knees and come into a tabletop position, facing the front of your mat. And let's start with a little bit of cat and cow. So taking a deep inhale, let your belly drop, head and heart lift. Exhale, tuck your tailbone round into the back. Head comes down last. Belly draws in. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Two more in your own time. Moving with your breath. Initiating the cat and cow from the base of your spine. Head follows last. Good, and we'll meet back in a neutral spine. So let's take one hand's distance out in front, tuck your toes under, and we're going to make our way into our first downward facing dog. So just see how your down dog feels today. Each day is different that we come to our mats. So just honoring your body, today's body, not yesterday's, not tomorrow's, but really just taking the time to listen and to focus. Good. And then let's start to walk our feet forward, coming into a forward fold right at the top of your mat. Feet are hip distance apart. Soften your knees and just hang. Let the head hang, let the brain drop. Let the tension melt off your spine. Starting to tap into your Ujjayi breath. Nice. And then inhale, find a halfway lift. And as you exhale, you're going to heel toe your feet out. So your toes point out, heels in, and we're going to come into our first malasana. Nice and early in our practice. Bringing your hands to your heart, drawing your chin to your chest. And I want you to focus on that inner gaze, looking down from the top of your heart and just finding that center point. That bindu, that seed. Take one more breath here. Tailbone drawing down, lengthen into the spine. Press your thighs into your elbows, elbows press into your thighs. And then release your hands down and gently bring it back up into your forward fold. Heel toe your feet back to about hip distance apart, and you're going to grab a hold of your big toes with your peace fingers and your thumb. Inhale to find length, and then exhale to fold. Stretching into the back of the thighs. Let the head hang, elbows out to the sides. Press into the heels. Stretch into the back of the knees. Take one more breath. Good, and then slowly release your big toes. Take your fingertips down to the ground. Heel toe your feet in just slightly so they're not touching. They're under your sit bones. Bend into your knees. Take your seat back and bring your hands to your heart. Lengthening into your spine in your chair pose. Good. Inhale, draw your hands forward and up. And then exhale, we're going to twist to the right. So bringing that left elbow on the outside of the right thigh. Have a look at your knees. If that left knee is jutting forward, draw it back. One more breath here. Inhale. And on the exhale, come to center and fold forward, holding onto your big toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Keeping those elbows, drawing them in towards the outsides of your calves. Good. Release your big toes, fingertips to the ground. Bend your knees, take your seat back. Draw your spine back as you reach your hands to your heart. Inhale, draw your hands forward, reach them up. And exhale, twist to the left. Pressing down with your left hand on your right to draw your chest to center, to where your thumbs are. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come to center. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Ground your hands. Let's step it back into your downward facing dog. Right leg reaches back behind you. Keep your hips nice and level, but stretch and point with the right toes. And then draw that knee in towards your chest as you step the right foot forward into a lunge. Power down through that right foot. Inhale to reach the arms all the way up, high lunge. Bringing your hands to your heart on the exhale. Inhale, draw your hands forward and up. And exhale, hands down to the mat, step it back, plank pose. Take a full breath in. And exhale, chaturanga to the floor. Point your toes back, inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg reaches up high, hips are level. Point into the left foot. Stretch it. Press the mat away from you. And then bring your knee into your chest and bring it forward to a lunge. Good. Power down through that left leg as you reach your arms all the way up to high lunge, breathing in. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, draw them forward, reach them up. And exhale, hands to the mat, step it back, plank. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Rise up onto your toes. Bend your knees, look up at your hands. You're going to walk, step, or float it forward. Inhaling halfway. Exhale, fold. Grabbing the back of your calves and drawing yourself in. Let your head hang. Breathe into the back of the legs. Last two. Last one. Good. Release your fingertips to the ground. Bend your knees. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, draw your hands forward and up. Exhale, twist to the right. Deep breath in as you press down. And exhale. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, forward fold, grab your toes. Inhale, rise, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, hugging your elbows to your calves. Release your big toes. Place your fingertips on the ground. Inhale to find a flat back. Exhale, bend your knees. Reach your arms up as you breathe in. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach them forward. Draw them up. And exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, deeply press down. Exhale, lower your feet a little more. Inhale, come to center. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Nice. Ground your hands down. Step back, downward facing dog. Right leg reaches up high, three-legged dog. Keep it level. Bring your knee to your chest. We're going to step up to warrior one. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. So remembering that our hands and our arms are an extension of our heart. Reach it forward, breathing in. Reach it all the way up. And exhale, hands to the mat, step it back, plank pose. If you're ready for a full chaturanga, you can take that now. Inhaling into your up dog. And exhaling, down dog. Inhale, left leg reaches back. Exhale, knee to chest. Step it forward, warrior one. Arms reach up. So we have these meridian points along the arms that go straight directly to the heart space. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach the hands forward and up. And exhale, hands to the mat, step it back, planked. Inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Good, find your breath. So think about how we use our hands and our arms as a form of love. How do you use your arms and your hands? You hug people. We used to shake hands. Now we use our elbows. We cook, we prepare, we give. All forms of love that come from the heart. How can you use your hands, your arms, to show love? Come up onto your toes, bend your knees. Look up at your hands, walk, step, float it forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your fingertips to the ground, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees. Take your seat back, reach your arms all the way up, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach those arms forward and up. Exhale, twist to the right. One breath. Inhale back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, chair pose, seat back, arms up. Full breath in. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach them forward and up. And exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Ground your hands down, step it back, plank pose. Move through your vinyasa. And we'll meet back in down dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out, moving with conscious awareness. Inhale, right leg reaches up high, hips are level. Stretch through the arms, stretch through that right leg. Bring your knee to your chest, hover. Step the right foot forward, lunge. Ground your back foot down. Inhale, arms reach up, warrior one. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach them forward and up. Exhale, hands to the mat, step it back, plank. Move through your chaturanga. Heart forward. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg high. Knee to chest, round. Step that left foot between your hands, lunge. And then ground your back foot down. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach them forward and up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step it back, plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And I want you to take 5 unhurried breaths here. Just exploring the potential of what you can take in and what you can let go of. What you can release. Nice. Come all the way up onto your tippy toes. Bend your knees and bring them down to the mat. Good. We're going to set up for your dolphin pose. So bringing your forearms down onto the mat. You might need to measure out the distance by bringing your hands to your opposite arms, upper arms, keeping your elbows where they are. Extend your fingers, extend your arms out in front. Tuck your toes under. Inhale, round into your back. And then exhale, take your seat up towards the sky, drawing your knees off of the mat. Now start to walk your feet a little closer towards you and draw your chest towards your thighs. Good. Now right leg reaches up high. Come all the way onto your left tippy toes. Right up. Reach that right leg. Hold. 3. Keep breathing. 2. And 1. Release. Stay in your dolphin. Let's take it to the other side. Inhaling, left leg reaches up high. Come right up onto the right tippy toes. Good. And lift. Hold. 3. 2. And 1. Release. Nice. Lower your knees down to the mat and take a child's pose. Knees together. Draw your forehead down. Bring your arms alongside your body. Soften your shoulders over your thighs. Good. Just take a few breaths here. So this point that we are exploring is like a magnet to your gaze. Just feel yourself going back time and time again to the physical heart, to the energetic heart, into this inner chamber, this inner point. Beautiful. Slowly roll the spine up. We're going to come back into dolphin. Coming onto your hands. Measure out the distance. Come down onto your elbows. Spread your fingers wide. Tuck your toes under. Inhale, round your back, pull belly in. Exhale, rise up. So just finding your traditional dolphin posture. Allow the head to hang. You're not resting on the top of your head. You're lifting up out of the shoulders, drawing your chest towards your thighs. Good. Now look forward at your hands, and you're going to walk your feet back. Coming into a forearm plank. I want you to hug into your thumbs and your elbows. Allow the heat to build into your upper body, holding. 5. Breathe. 4. 3. 2. We're not done. Hold it here. A little bit of a challenge. Right leg off the floor. Push into the heels. Other side. Left leg. Push. Hold it here. Good. Release. Lower the knees. Take it back into your child's pose. Again, taking your arms back alongside you. Knees are together. Forehead draws down. A gentle, beautiful rounding into your spine. Surrendering. Drawing your gaze inwards. Opening up the back gate to your heart. Nice. One more breath here. Slowly roll the spine up. One vertebra at a time. Sitting on your heels. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can always place a block between your feet. And you may need a strap for the next one. Okay, so we're going to sit in rock pose or on your block or cushion. If you're using a strap, you can take the strap into your Gomukhasana arms. So extending your right arm all the way up to the sky. You're going to bend into the right elbow and use your left hand to guide that right elbow back. Stretching into the lats, into the upper arm, the shoulders. And then you're going to swing that left arm out to the side, bring it back and underneath to grab a hold of your strap or your hand if you can reach it. Okay, so I'm using the strap today. And I want you to push your head back into your forearm, lengthening into the spine, but try not to open the ribs out. So draw those ribs in, knit them in. Lengthen through the spine. Hold it for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Slowly release. Let's take that to the other side. So again, if you're using your strap will be in your left hand. Reaching your left arm all the way up. You're going to bend into the left elbow, bringing your hand behind you. And then right hand comes up to the left elbow to draw it back a little more. Once you've got that, extend the right arm out to the side. So you want a nice full range of motion as you bring the right arm back behind you to grab your strap. And then knit those ribs in. Reach up tall, press your head back, and hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Beautiful. Slowly release. You can place your strap to the side for now. We're going to come into your Malasana. So placing your hands down onto the mat, tuck your toes under. Take your heels or your toes out, just finding your distance that you need, and bring your hands to your heart. So right at the back of your mat, lengthening through the spine, tailbone drawing down, pressing your palms together, Pressing your elbows into your thighs, thighs into your elbows. Find that connection. Good. And from here, we're going to take your crow pose. You're going to bring your hands down to the mat, lift your hips, connect the knees to your upper arms as you draw yourself forward. And once you get into your crow, try and stay here for 3 breaths. Good. And release. Nice. Come all the way down onto your seat, extending your legs out in front of you. Dandasana. Fingertips to the ground. Long spine, flex into your feet, toes draw up, engage the legs. Soften the shoulders. One more breath. Good. Now you're going to bring your hands behind you so that your fingers are pointing forwards to hang back, or just draw it back so it's in line with your spine. Holding here for 3. Squeeze the shoulders, lift the heart. 2. Lift your hips, ground your big toes. Last one. And slowly release. Nice. All right. Bend into your knees. Take your feet over to the left. So feet over to the left. And you're going to twist to the right. So that left hand, you can either place it underneath your right thigh or just on your right thigh. Right hand behind you. Take a twist to the right. So you'll notice that left hip is not grounded, and that's okay. Good. And then come back to center. And then swing the legs over to the right. And we're going to twist to the left. Right hand onto your left thigh, left hand behind you. Still trying to ground down as best as you can, so you're not lifting that right hip all the way up. And trying to keep your hips level. Coming back to center. Beautiful. Bring your hands down to the mat, step it back, downward facing dog. Let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Right leg reaches back behind you, 3-legged dog, hips level. Stretch. Bring your knee in towards your chest as you round into your spine. We're going to step that right foot forward and set up for warrior 2. So just align your feet up. Front knee in line with your second and third toe. Back foot is grounded, parallel to the short edge of your mat. Take a deep inhale and exhale, settle into that posture. Flip your right palm, inhale, reverse. And exhale, extended side angle. Bringing your right hand down to the ground. Top arm reaches all the way overhead. So you can take your gaze up towards the ceiling or just keep it in front of you, but feel for rotating your chest open so you're not folding. So this single pointed training, we are training ourselves to be present, which is such a beautiful and powerful skill to have in our lives. So we are more present, more available for our families, for our loved ones, for the things that we love doing. One more breath. Good. Now release your left hand down to the ground, swivel onto your back toes, coming into a lunge. I'm going to walk that back leg closer and come into your pyramid. Heels down, toes facing forward. Make sure you're not standing on a straight line. Good. Then inhale, find a halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Folding over your thigh. Breathing deeply. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, pause here. Bring your hands to your waist, engage your belly. Inhale, come all the way up. Good. Now keep your legs as they are. Extend your arms out. Right arm reaches up. Bend into the elbow, just like we did when we were in rock pose. You're going to set up for your Gomukhasana arms. If you need to use your strap, please do. Left arm reaches out, down, and up. Grabbing a hold of your strap or your hands, take a deep inhale and exhale to fold. Coming all the way down or as far as you can with a long spine. Holding for 3, for 2, and 1. Good. Release your hands down to the mat. Inhale halfway. Bring your hands to your heart. Bend into your front knee, and we're going to come into warrior 3. Extending through the left leg. Flex into the foot, push the heel back, level out the hips. Holding for 3, for 2, and 1. Utkatasana chair pose. Bring that left foot to meet the right. Bend your knees, take your seat back. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, twist to the right. All right, from here, we're coming all the way down onto your heels. And we're going to set up for your side crow. So placing your hands down onto the mat alongside you. So alongside your right thigh, hands down. If you are using your right thigh, so I'm going to show you at an angle. You're going to connect your right elbow to your thigh. If you're not, you'll place it out to the side. Okay, so if you are, you're making a shelf with your arms so you can lean onto them and come into your side crow. If you are not using a shelf, you're going to place your right hand out in front of you and come into your side crow, just using your left arm to support your right leg. Okay, nice. So take your side crow, and then we'll meet in a forward fold at the top of your mat. Grabbing a hold of your big toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Just breathing deep. Good. Release your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hop back to chaturanga or step back to plank. Move through your vinyasa. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Take a full breath. Open your mouth, let it out. Left leg reaches back behind you, 3-legged dog. Hips squared off to the mat. Bring your knee to your chest. Round the back and then step it forward, warrior 2. Settle into your posture. Own this posture. Spreading your heart, your love from fingertips across your chest to your other fingertips. Flip your left palm, reverse your warrior. And very slowly and mindfully expanding as you come forward and set up for your extended side angle. Reaching your top arm all the way overhead and revolving your chest open. Pull the left ribs through. Grounding down into your back foot. Strong legs. Reach through your top arm, through the fingertips. One more breath. And exhale, release your right hand down, swivel onto your back toes, coming into your lunge. You're going to step your right foot forward, coming into pyramid. Toes drawing forward, heels down. Inhale, long spine. And exhale, fold. Finding a nice, long, deep breath. Inviting your chest to meet your thigh. Coming back to that inner gaze, that bindu, that point. Coming back to our true essence, which is love. Good. Inhale, halfway. Pause as you exhale. Bring your hands to your waist. Power down through your legs. Inhale, come all the way up. Nice. All right. Extend your arms out to the sides. This time, left arm reaches up. Bend into the elbow. If you need your strap, grab it now. Use your right hand to guide that left arm further down your back. And then swing the right arm out to the side, down, and then reach it back up. To grab a hold of your hand or your strap. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold. Holding for 3, 2, and 1. All right, release your hands down. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to your heart. Bend into your front knee and let's take warrior 3. Extending through the right leg. Ground down through the left. Hold for 3. Hold for 2. And on your last one, we're going to come into Utkatasana, chair pose. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach those hands forward and up. And exhale, twist to the left. All right, so we're going to set up for your side crow on this side. So coming down onto your heels, stay on your toes. Bring your hands down to your mat. And again, depending on what variation you're taking, if you need a shelf or both, for that left thigh, left leg, you'll place your top of your elbows or the bottom of the top arm onto that thigh so you can lift up onto the shelf and then float your feet off. Or if you're using your upper body strength today, that left hand will come to the side and you'll swing your legs forward. Okay, so finding your variation, taking your side crow. And when you're done, we'll meet back in a forward fold. Knees are soft and just hang. Just letting go. Fingertips to the ground, inhale, halfway lift. Let's take your final vinyasa here. Your variation, stepping back to plank and moving through it, or hopping back to chaturanga. Deep inhale and exhale. Good. Come up onto your toes, lower your knees down. Good. All right. So we're going to do a little bit of wall work today. So if the headstand is not in your practice or a supported headstand, please take your mat against the wall. And we're going to practice that first, and then we'll do a few others. So if you are against the wall, you are going to set up that way so that the wall is in front of you. You're going to interlace your hands and press your hands right up against the wall. Your elbows are kind of underneath your shoulders. And you're going to press the top of your head. So where, if you balanced a book, the point where the book connects to your head is what you're going to press down onto the mat. You're going to tuck your toes and draw your hips up. So if this is enough for you today, this is where you're going to stay. Otherwise, you're going to draw your hips back, start to lift
into your legs and maybe slide your legs up the wall, using control. You can also hop your legs up. If you can't use the control, you don't have the abs to control that movement as yet, you can kick your legs up to the wall. So freestanding, just stay here and breathe.
Otherwise, if you are against the wall, you'll be doing it either kicking up or again just using your abs to press up. So I want you to lift up out of your head. Take most of the weight in your shoulders. Only 30% should be in your head. Otherwise, you put a lot of pressure on your neck. If this doesn't feel good, don't do it. All right, just taking a few more breaths here. If you are in your headstand, remember, you have to have strong shoulders as well to hold you up. And then just take a moment to kick down and find a child's pose for a moment. Okay. And then we're going to set up for your forearm balance against the wall. So if you are used to doing forearm balance without support, you are most welcome to do it in the middle of the mat. Otherwise, can't really see me from here, but I'm going to try. Okay, so you're going to place your forearms down onto the mat with your fingertips right up against the edge of the wall. Make sure that the elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. You may need to measure out like we're doing in your dolphin pose. Fingertips against the wall, tuck your toes under, round into your back and lift up into dolphin. Okay, if this is enough for you, stay here. Otherwise, you're going to reach that left leg up and then kick up into your forearm balance against the wall. You can play with drawing your feet away from the wall, finding your balance. I like to take my gaze down to the mat, as it does tend to help my balance. So just play with this a few times. You can always pause this video and take time to just explore your forearm balance. It does take practice. So if you don't get it right first time around, that's totally okay. Just keep practicing and one day it happens. All right. So when we're done with that, we're going to do one more. We're going to do a handstand against the wall. Okay. So with your handstand, I don't want your fingers right up against the wall. You need a bit of space to be able to kick back. So maybe about one hand's distance from the wall. You're going to place your hands down, come into a downward facing dog, and then start to kick up into your handstand. Okay, so if this is impossible, if you are in your handstand, just take a moment to stay here and breathe. Really push up, push down into your hands rather. Okay, if this is impossible, you can always take it the other way. Okay, so the way to do that is to measure, sit up against the wall. Where your heels are, make a note, make a little point there. And you're going to place the palm of your hand onto that point. And then come into a downward facing dog with your heels against the wall. And what you'll do here is you'll walk your feet up into kind of like an L shape. And then you can start to play extending one leg up and then extending the other. So even the L shape is quite challenging because your hips need to be above your shoulders. Your legs are not up here. So that's what I find a lot of people do is their legs are up here. Bring your feet down so that they're in front of your hips. And that alone is a challenge. If you can hold that for a few breaths, then do that. Remember, when you come down, don't just collapse down onto your knees. All right, so you can play with that a little bit. And then when you're done, find your child's pose. So you can take your knees out wide, big toes touch, or you can bring your knees together and fold. And just close your eyes. And bring your gaze back to that inner radiance that sits right in the center of your chest. Just taking a few breaths here. Good. And then from here, you can extend the arms out in front of you and bring yourself back up into your tabletop. And find your way back into your downward facing dog. Right leg reaches up high, three-legged dog. Keep your hips level. And bring that right knee behind your right wrist. Set yourself up for your pigeon. Extending your left leg back. And then coming all the way down. So if you need support under that right hip, place a blanket, cushion, or a block. And then bring yourself all the way down. You can rest your head on the mat or on your hands or on a block. Just close your eyes, draw yourself inwards. So that point, it's the size of a mustard seed. It's the smallest point packed with infinite potential. And when it's really opened, it has this atomic reaction of opening up your center of love, of kindness, and of compassion. Taking a few more deep breaths here as you soften into this posture. Letting go of any hardness in the body and the mind. Opening yourself up to be a little softer, more loving, more compassionate. Notice what areas of the body are still holding on. When you find those areas, breathe into them and let them soften with your exhale. Last two breaths. Nice. And slowly rise up. Bring your hands down to the mat. Tuck your back toes under and push back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches back behind you. Three-legged dog. Knee draws in towards your chest. Bring it in towards your left wrist and set yourself up for your pigeon on the other side. And then gently bring yourself down into your forward fold. Soften into it. Soften into your breath. So just take this opportunity to check in and notice if there's any tension around the eyes, any tension around the temples. Soften your gaze and explore that insight that doesn't use the eyes,
Last 2 breaths.
Good. Slowly walk your hands back. I want you to lean over to the left and swing that right leg around and place the right foot on the outside of your left thigh. So we're setting up for your seated twist. So make sure that that knee draws right to the center of your chest. Ground down through both sit bones. Make sure you're not leaning too much on one side. And bring your right hand behind you. Your left arm is just going to swing out in front of you to draw in your right thigh. Right hand further back, lengthen through your spine, drawing that right knee in towards you, and then exhale as you twist. Just closing the gap between your right thigh and your lower belly. Now take your gaze to your right shoulder. Inhaling, growing a little taller. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Now keep this twist, but take your gaze to your left shoulder. And then bring it back to center. Nice. All right, let's take it to the other side. So we're just going to change the cross of the legs. Make sure you're grounded. Bring that left knee into the center of your chest. Left hand behind you. Swing that right arm out in front of you to hug that left leg in towards you. Take a nice full breath in. And then exhale as you twist. Reaching up tall through the crown of the head. Lift from your lower back and from the center of your chest. Soften your shoulders. Deepen into your breath. And then take your gaze to your left shoulder. Inhale, tall. Exhale, twist. Keep your twist and take your gaze to the front, to your right shoulder. Nice. And then come back to center. Beautiful. Release your legs out in front of you, Dandasana. Fingertips to the ground. Inhale, rise up. Long spine. Exhale, fold forward. Drawing your heart along your thighs. Shoulders away from the ears. Pulling your heart through towards your toes. Taking 2 more breaths. Nice, and then slowly roll the spine up. Head comes up last. Bend into your knees, soles of the feet onto your mat. Shift your hips forward. Extend your arms out in front of you. And you're going to slowly, with control, lower all the way down onto your back until your back is flat on the mat. And you can draw your knees in towards your chest. Hug them in, maybe gently rocking from side to side. And then find your way into happy baby. So grabbing the outside of your feet, your elbows on the inside of your knees. And I want you to press your lower back into the mat. Press down with your hands onto your feet, and at the same time, press your feet into your hands. Okay, so it's an active, happy baby. Just holding it for 3, for 2, and 1. And then slowly release your happy baby, bringing your knees in towards your chest. Take a deep inhale and sigh it out. Slowly release your legs down to the ground and set yourself up for your final resting pose. If you need to put something warm on, grab a blanket, grab a cushion, make yourself cozy and comfortable. And then lower yourself all the way down onto your back. And you can rest your arms out to the sides, or you can place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, and just connect. Close your eyes, let your feet be soft. And as you settle into Shavasana, I'm going to share a little reading with you. Love is a universal energy that exists everywhere. It's completely unconditional, undemanding, and in no way judgmental. Today, you are being asked to open your heart to the universal energy of love. This is the love we all want to receive. It's deeply nurturing, supportive, and ultimately freeing. Allow yourself to receive love in this form. This love doesn't belong to you or anyone else. It is just there, available to flow through you at all times, if you allow it. So with that thought, settle into your resting pose and surround yourself with love. Slowly begin to journey back. Become conscious of your breath, inviting deep cleansing breaths in and clearing breaths out. Invite some movement to your fingers and your toes. And then take a nice big full body stretch. Reach your arms overhead. Stretch through your fingers and your toes. And then gently draw your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Roll over onto your left hand side using your arm as a support. Just take a moment to integrate. And then when you're ready, gently bring yourself to seated facing the front with your eyes closed. Bring your hands to your heart. Bowing your chin down towards your chest. Enjoy your love-filled day or evening, and perhaps allow it to become a love-filled week. Take a nice deep inhale. Sigh it out. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. Until we meet on the mat again, the love, light, and understanding in me bow and honors to the love, light, and willingness in you. Namaste.